Okay, hi Brandy. My name's Evan. Thanks for doing this for me. I'm doing this for a school assignment at Fort Hays State University. Before we begin, I just have some information for you, and I'm going to read it to make sure I cover everything. You probably already know why I've asked you to do this assignment for me, and it's to do a usability test on a website. So I'm trying to see if the website works as intended, and I'll write a report afterwards. The session shouldn't take more than about half an hour. The first thing I want to make sure that you understand right away is that I'm testing the site and not you. You can't do anything wrong here, and in fact, this is probably the one place today where you don't have to worry about making mistakes. As you use the site, I'm going to ask you as much as possible to try to think out loud, to say what you're looking at and what you're trying to do and what you're thinking. This will be a big help to me. Also, please don't worry that you're going to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just asking for how to improve the site. So I need to hear your honest reactions. If you have any questions as we go along, just ask them. I may not be able to answer them right away since I'm more interested in how people do when they don't have someone sitting next to them to help. But if you still have any questions when we're done, I'll try to answer them. And if you need to take a break at any point, just let me know. You may have noticed the microphone, and with your permission, I'm going to record what happens today on the screen and our conversation. The recording will only be used to help figure out how to improve the site, and it won't be seen by anybody except for the people at Fort Hays State University that need to see it, such as my instructor. And it helps me because I don't have to take any notes. Also, I might ask you for some follow-up questions at the end for your feedback. And if you would, I'm going to ask that you just sign a simple permission form for me. It just says that I have your permission to record you, and the recording will only be seen by the people working in the project. Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, great. Just real quick, can you just kind of explain what you do for your job and on a usual day, given that we have this virus going on, just kind of explain how often you use the internet and what it's for. Is it for web browsing or emails or work, fun? You go ahead and just introduce yourself.
Okay. I work for a local school district, so for work, I'm currently working at home, and we're basically having to use our computers quite a bit these days. And granted, like a typical school day isn't like your typical 7.5 to 8 hour school days. Right now, they're a little bit shortened, and we're still having to video conference with students. We hold meetings ourselves. And then on top of it, we're like, looking at different like websites throughout the day to figure out like lesson plans for students and what like basically to like, I don't know, I guess like for each student, like they all have their different interests and stuff. So you want to try to figure out like the different activities that they like doing and things like that. So, just for one student, you could be looking at a bunch of different websites for maybe at least an hour or so. And also like putting up videos. We've been known to do that. And then like we've made slideshows to present to students and things like that. Probably each day, I would say like I would spend like for work maybe at least 4 to 5 hours, give or take, and then like after that, just a typical day, it's mainly just browsing, looking things up that interest me. I try to limit social media, but that's like another big thing. And mainly just like listening to music, things like that. Looking at different sites like Amazon and Target, online shopping, also online grocery shopping and things like that. I would say this is a rough estimate because I don't really keep track of it, but maybe
Okay.
like 42 hours a week spent like on the computer doing stuff for work and doing stuff on my downtime, things like that.
Okay, great. I'm going to actually ask you to go over to this website, and I want you to just take a look at it, scroll around, don't click on anything right now, and just kind of tell me what you think it does and what your initial thoughts are. What do you think you can do here? What's it for? And just kind of narrate out loud a little bit.
Okay, it looks like you would go to this website if you're trying to plan a trip. And it looks like you can get there by any which way, whether it's plane, train, a bus, a car, things like that. And then it's showing you, like, it's talking about, like, how you can get from your starting location and then ending with the location you want to travel to. To me, the website's name is kind of misleading because it says Rome to Rio, and when I think of a website that's named that, I mean, yeah, you're starting in one place, ending up in another, but also you would almost kind of think that a website that's called that is mainly just focusing on those two cities. And so that's a little misleading to me. It's showing you like all the different places that you can go, whether you're, whatever city you're starting in, and then another city that you can travel to and stuff. And then it's talking about like other popular trips. It makes me wonder if, because they're very specific on what the starting city is and then what city you're ending up in, and it just makes me wonder if these are like packages that you can buy, like travel packages and stuff. Like if somebody wanted to plan a trip and they didn't really want to like map out every single thing, maybe this would help them, like if they're not going through a travel agent or something like that. And then it's also showing like what the popular cities are that people like visiting. And then it's also talking about like the app that you can download on your phone and stuff. That it works on an iPhone and an Android.
Okay, thank you. All right, now I'm going to ask you to do some specific tasks on the website. Um, if you will, I will hand you the task one by one, and you can read them to yourself, but I'll also read them out loud just so that we have it on the recording.
Okay.
All right, the scenario number one, it says, you and your family are wanting to book a trip from Kansas City, Missouri to Houston, Texas, and have already chosen the dates but want business class. Pretend like you're booking a flight. Find the plane fare for both ways for your family of three for the dates of June 14th, 2020 to June 16th, 2020, as if they took a business class. So I'll give you a bit to figure out how to do that. And just think out loud. Think about why are you clicking on what you're doing and what you're looking for.
Trying to figure out how to start. It says transport, then it says tickets, hotels, car hire, and stuff like that. I think I'll just start here. It's your starting location, because I don't know where to look for the flights. Okay, so Kansas City, Missouri. And you're going to Houston, Texas. let's just hit search. I don't know what this does.
So what do you see?
Okay, so the top two, because it says you're pretending like you're booking a flight. So you want to look at the top two because those are your flights. Okay, you want business class, find the plane fare for both ways. Okay, I would just, for me, I like usually going the route that will get you there the fastest. So I picked the top one. I'm not used to an Apple computer. Okay. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
What are you looking for?
How do you figure out what the plane fare is? I don't. This just looks confusing to me. I usually don't see sites set up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's bus. That's if you're walking. You want the flight, so you gotta click on it. Both ways you want a return trip. You said you had 3 people in your family. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, it says... Okay, so if you're leaving June 14th, so you click that, and then it says you're returning on the 16th. I guess just find flights. Yeah. Oops. Let's just do that. It says searching for tickets. Okay, and then I don't know. I'm just trying to pick the shortest time. The times aren't ideal.
That's okay. Just checking the times. Just figuring it out. Okay. So if you select that. This doesn't make any sense. Why not?
It doesn't say anything about... It just shows you what the airline is, the times, what the price is, and like how long it's going to take, and that there's like you're stopping in another city. Additional fees or taxes may apply, blah 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 blah. But it doesn't have, unless I'm looking in the wrong place. I don't see a way to even show what class you're looking for. That's what doesn't make any sense.
Okay. What do you think you should do? What does your